And then, I get the email one day saying, congratulations, you've been elected. So I was like,
I was.
really? I was? I was like, oh, cool. And then, now I'm here today and everybody's like, oh, your suit looks so nice. I was like, it's our photo shoot today for the picture. So
Welcome to the Decode Podcast with Elias Malfovan, Daniel Stanfill, and Sean Kincaid.
Welcome to the Decode Podcast, SMTA International 2025 edition. Our next guest is Sutharshan Suppiramaniam with SMT Elite, and congratulations on your new appointment to the Global Board of Directors. So
thank you.
You're also sitting on the SMTA Board of Directors. So welcome, and tell us a little bit about your journey to the board and how that's been so far.
So I've been a part of SMTA for the past 18 years.
Wow.
I started off just being a member, a part of it. Then down the road, there was a questionnaire that asked, hey, do you want to participate being on the SMTA organization? And I said, sure, let me check it off. And, I don't mind. Then I got an email saying, hey, we saw you have some interest in being a part of SMTA. So I said, okay. Then my journey started. And then I was on the chapter. Then came a point where they asked me to be the VP. Then they said, can you take on the president role? So I took that on. And then I got pretty aggressive. And then now I host like webinars almost every month. We host a webinar. And, then doing that, getting expos going in Toronto again. So then I had people approach me saying, hey, there's a couple of board of directors openings coming up. Why don't you consider going to the next level? I was like, oh, I just started doing my business and said, you know what? I always like the challenge. So I said, okay, I'll run for it. I don't know if I'll win or not. I was like, okay, fine. Let me run for it and let's see what happens. Then I get messages from people saying, hey, there's people from the US asking about you. It's a good thing. And I was like, oh, what's it for? Oh, you're running for the board of directors? People are interested. And then, I get the email one day saying, congratulations, you've been elected. So I was like,
I was.
Really? I was? I was like, oh, cool. And then, now I'm here today and everybody's like, oh, your suit looks so nice. I was like, it's our photo shoot today for the picture. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's
the reason for this.
It's great to hear how, you kind of been involved with the SMTA and progressed through sort of all levels of leadership. And that's got to inspire a lot of confidence for, all the members, and also cool that you're from north of the border, right? I mean, we think of SMTA as, a U.S. entity, but it's really not, right? I mean, even with global, the work that's being done in India, and I keep seeing new chapters popping up. So It seems like, it's as vibrant of an organization as ever, and expanding a lot, which is cool.
Yeah, SMTA. Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of international involvement, but of course, majority is in the U.S. Like for us in Canada, we're the only chapter, the Ontario chapter. We had some student chapters, but because of the geography and how big the country is, I do have like attendees that join in from all parts of the provinces throughout Canada. So we got some involvement there.
Awesome.
Pretty good.
So besides SMTA, like just professionally, will you share a little bit of your journey, background, career-wise?
So I used to work for Johnson Controls for 18 plus years. So I was the process engineer. I started off, I oversee 14 surface mount lines.
Wow.
Like 4 modules on each. So it's not like one machine lines. These are, 2 gantries per machine. So I got quite a bit. So I started doing that. I was taking care of all the process. Then things changed. Then they said, Sutharshan would like you to take care of like the design for manufacturing reviews. Then I got that responsibility as well. I started reviewing all the designs. I was like the person who signed off before it got released into manufacturing. Then we merged with another company because it was Tyco. Then Johnson Controls bought it over. Then I got a lot of exposure from the corporate head office.
Yeah.
They saw my abilities. Then they said, "Hey, we'd like your support in other parts." So then I go to Mexico, and then I do a bit of remote support for certain other plants. Then like come X-ray, I became like the X-ray specialist because I know how to use the X-ray systems pretty well. So I get into that. Then like training people on BGA rework and then now after production moved to Mexico, I decided I wanted to take the challenge on doing my own startup. So I started doing like DFM and process consultations for customers.
Yeah.
So I work with CMs and OEMs, and then there's select customers that I do assembly work for.
Okay.
So those are, let it be JCI or a couple of other customers. And then there's like very sophisticated, extremely expensive PCBA that I would build at a partner contract manufacturer. So I work with other CMs and do quite a bit of, I take on challenging work. So
I know that's inspiring to hear. Like, I'm starting out 4 years of my process engineering journey, and it's pretty just inspiring to hear your journey along that way. You've got a lot of different disciplines. It sounds like different roles you've had along the way. So kind of sounds like you've got a pretty broad knowledge base of the whole process.
Yes. Yeah. It's very helpful because my educational background was strictly surface mount technology because we actually had a college program in Canada dedicated to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I took that program and really I'm thankful of that. That's what like has been able to give me that foundation, the experience with the different platforms, and then working in an actual environment that encompasses all what I learned. So with what I learned, I put it to use, and then I think it was the pillar to building on top and getting to where I am today. The mentoring, having the ability to mentor a lot of people along the way really helps because it's like, a lot of people, they know the knowledge, but I think where it comes is the person's ability to transfer that knowledge to another person. That's where it shows, this person is capable of what they're doing because he's able to regurgitate or coach another to replicate his skills, right?
Yep.
So
one thing I really liked that the SMTA did this year was they put all their stuff online. Back and you can go back and watch some webinars and some expo stuff. Are any of your technical presentations that you do throughout the month, like the...
Yes. So all the webinars that we host, we ask our speakers if we have permission to record their presentations and put it online. So they do.
If you had one to recommend.
I think the latest one we did with Ted Sangelmeyer with on ESD, I think is very beneficial. He's a PhD when it comes to ESD, and he is so thorough. And I think a lot of companies out there, I think there's some work needing to be done in the ESD control perspective.
That's gentle.
Honestly,
we talk about that.
It's my customer.
That's a gentle way of saying
so
that.
That's why I think the value that he brings is priceless.
For me, it's my customer base. I'll go there and visit and say, hello, how are you doing? And then they're touching the boards on shag carpeting, right?
Yeah. So those are the things, just like you, I go to visit folks and I get really nervous because I'm like, why are you doing that? Because I go by the books and I'm very careful, cautious, and I want them to be too, oh no, but it gets its own impedance once it's built, right? And I'm like, the amount of static energy we do produce will zap those parts, and it's a lot of work to do.
It's kind of
failure
insidious,
analysis,
though, right? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that device just won't work now, but
it's latent failures.
It might have,
Yeah, what kind of impact did you just have on its long-term reliability?
That's right. Yeah.
So I think it's very important. And a lot of the webinars that we host, I get surveys done on each one.
Yeah.
And I ask folks what's important to them, what would they like to see. So based on that, we'll have like me, Bev, Christian, and a couple other folks will talk about it, and we'll selectively pick the topic. And usually I vet it based on how critical is it for our industry? What weak points do we see when we're seeing how other organizations are? So I want to bring benefit to a lot of folks.
And that's the beauty, I feel like, that what they did, because I know for me personally, I like to learn on my own time and my own pace when I'm free, right? If I have to be locked in at a specific event and I have to go there and travel or whatever, right?
Like in Texas or
I couldn't make it to the SMTA Dallas, and they'd love to remind me of it. But I did make it to SMTA Kansas City, and that was awesome.
The star.
Yeah, the star event. But to have that ability to not be there, but be there, is perfect.
Well, I always encourage everybody, like even on my chapter and all our members, I say, if you can't make it, at least try your best. Register.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure
if you register, you'll still get it, right?
I'm like, I'll send out the slides once it's done and the recordings so you can watch it. Of course, it's nice to have everybody there. And I always do all the webinars at lunch hour because I saw virtual because I want to make sure the majority of the people can take that lunch hour and they're learning. They're eating their lunch and at the same time they can learn. So I always stuck to that. Even with my chapter meetings, I do one almost every other week or a couple of times a month. So I do quite a bit of meetings.
Yeah.
It's just to keep it going. And that's like things I recommend to a lot of other chapters. Have a couple of minutes. Not everybody might be able to make it because I have suppliers on the chapter as well.
Sure.
But at least we're progressing. We're making progression, right? So it's important. And that's what keeps us going. And that's how I've been able to get the clear awards to the gold level. You just got to keep going.
But progress takes effort, right?
Yeah,
it's not just going to happen on its own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the dedication and the consistency is very important. And I take it very serious. Like for me, I get it's a volunteer role, but I don't look at it that way. I like contributing to the entire electronics industry. So it's giving back, right? So it's important, I think, and it brings value. And for me, I have young kids. And I want my son and my daughter and everybody to see, hey, my dad's doing this. And I'm telling them, coaching people, see, I'm training this person, I'm helping this person. Because I get calls at random hours.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, who's calling you? And I'm like, someone has an issue.
Yep.
And I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. If they need help, I would like to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's the work-life balance is a little bit of a challenge, but I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
So it's not a job. Right.
Well, I know everybody it is a volunteer organization, but it takes that willingness to contribute that makes it robust. Everyone sharing their area of expertise and knowledge and helping pass that on to the next generations that are coming up and learning it. Being a part of the SMTA has absolutely accelerated my learning. So I appreciate the efforts of the people who keep it going. So just thank you for that on that note, for sure.
Yeah, and the SMTA has been a fantastic partner for us doing what we're doing here today. And we appreciate that. And again, congratulations on your appointment. And I think we're in good hands. So carry us forward, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you.